Hi, pardon me. Welcome back, possums. This is Maggie back with your daily readings. Look out, 3 days in a row. She's getting good. Today we're going to have a look at hang 5. That's not mirror imaging. Wisdom. Let me just, no, you still can't see it. What the heck's going on here? Anyway, it's Wisdom of the Golden Path. And it's by Tony Carmine Salerno. This is the most beautiful set of cards that has come my way in a long time. I absolutely adore them. The artwork is divine, incredible. There are so many things in this world today that is awe-inspiring, and just that wow factor that lifts us from this everyday to this little bit extra. And this is what we need in our lives now. Every lift we have, every little bit extra, takes us closer to the divinity within, to who we truly are and what we truly can do. It's like, this is the time to get it out there, to strut your stuff, to be the best you can do, because you have such amazing help, such amazing aids, such incredible power, just so you can reach just like that. Okay, Capricorns, let's see where you possums are today. Intuition. Do you know, sometimes Capricorns tend to hide their light under a bushel. They tend to drag everything they've got out every now and then. They tend to trot it out. Oh, it's full moon, I'd better go do my thing. Hey, it's new moon, I better go do my thing. Capricorn, this is about time to listen to your gut instinct. Many Capricorn people think, I'm not intuitive. But they very much the same, instinctively know how to plan, how to get something off the ground. They can tell everybody else how to do it, the best organizers in the world. It's time to use this instinct, intuition, to turn things around and start doing it for yourself. You know, some of the best Capricorns I know are the greatest fundraising organizers you've ever come across. But can they organize their own life? Why? Because they don't put the same principles into use. This is about, what you do for others, sweetheart, do for yourself, but do it right now. Go for it. Intuition. Intuit. Into. Break the word up until you see what it gives you. Into. Into. Into you. Into yourself. You got all the answers, hon. You just need to take the lid off the biscuit barrel and dole out the cookies. Aquarius. Aquarius, rose petals. What a joyous time. Rose petals remind us of love, of the cycle of being. Rose petals, we use them for so many things, with their gentleness, their alluring, their all-encompassing. When you see a rose petal falling, the rose petals are strewed at weddings. Rose petals are in some of the very best potpourris. Rose petals are about allowing joy into your life. They're about becoming one. If you feel a rose petal, it has that brilliant velvety softness. It is fragile, but it's tough. Rose petals stand and withhold and withstand the greatest tests that we put them through. When a rose petal is dry, yes, it becomes brittle, because you've taken the life force from it and the energy from it. Don't let at this time anything and anyone take away the life force from you, from your rose petals. This is time to make sure that you are a part of everything you do, that there's this joy and openness, and that your petals are basically plump and smelling gorgeous, darling. It's like, don't let anybody dry or drain the energy or the essence that is you away. Why? Because you're perfect, just the way you are. Aries, where's my Aries? Ooh, spring. What, don't you just love? Can you not see how beautiful this artwork is? How amazing this artist is? Spring is about new beginnings. It's about allowing new beginnings, darling. It's about opening the doors so these things can happen for you. They're about bringing everything you can into your life because you can. They're about being free. They're about joining in the natural world. But you know, the springtime of the soul is about acceptance. It's about accepting your magnificence. It's about accepting how great you are. It's accepting joy and new beginnings into your life. No matter how fragile or how tender they may seem at the moment, open the doors, darling, and start rejoicing. Spring is wonderful. Spring is innocence. When we go to something with joy and innocence and openness of heart, that's when we get the best surprises. That's the phone. I'll get to it in a while, sweetie. And how everything is amazing around us. So many good things begin to happen. And this is how it is for you right now. Allow this whole goodness to happen and everything to come through. Okie dokie. Now, Pisceans. Oh, unconditional love. Isn't this the most gorgeous image that one has ever seen? In unconditional love. This is about uniting the both parts of yourself at this time. It's not about reaching out for a partner or to a partner. It's about uniting the self. It's about putting time and energy and love and peace into the self. It's about uniting the two parts of the whole. When we divide ourselves against ourselves, that's when things topple over, when we don't, oh, where am I? It's about accepting that we all have a light and a shadow side. It's accepting that we all have weaknesses and we all have strengths. It's about accepting that together, bringing 1 and 2 together, you can create a 3, which is the union of all. You can become a 3. The male and female that is separate becomes the male and female that are one. You become a union of 3. Male, female, because there are times in our journey when we need to stand very strong in our masculine energy, or a time when we need to stand very strong in our feminine energy. And there also comes a time when we need to be entirely, completely in the duality. If we can bring the male, the female, and the duality, we have the balance of 3. It is the working with the 3 that is, and has been over many eons, symbolically magical, that can change the world. Your world, my world, every world. You hearing what I'm saying? Male, female, co-joined equals creation. So get out there and start creating, hun. Or procreating, whichever takes your fancy. Okay, Taurus. Wow. Taurus, it's time to dance. It's time to dance some new beginnings and some new joy and some new vibrancy and some new energy into your life. It's like, wow, everything's unfolding. The veils are beginning to lift around you. The clouds are lifting. But it's time for you to join in this energy of the dance. Because you can. It's like, hey, look at me. Am I fantastic? Yeah, yeah. That's simple. Yep, you are. You are amazing. You are wonderful. You are joyous. You are a gift to this universe. Get out there and strut your stuff, darling. Enjoy. It's opening doors now. This is time to get into the dance of life and to celebrate who you are. To celebrate what's in your life, because you can. Okie dokie, let's have a look at our Gemini possums. Yet again we look at springtime. However, we look at springtime in a different manner for Gemini, because Gemini is a duality. What is the duality of springtime? It's the end of a dark season. However, in the springtime, the dark season is still a little bit there. It's like the first beginnings. This is where you're at, Gemini, the first beginnings of new directions, the first shoots of spring, the first flowers. Those first little leaves are poking their way through the snow, and through the dark times that you've been through, you're beginning to see light at the end of the tunnel. The light at that end of the tunnel is the springtime of whole new beginnings, whole new directions. So it's like, don't hide things. Here comes the cloud over again. There goes my blue sky I had this morning. But you get that. It's nearly winter here in WA. Now, it's about opening your heart and allowing things to happen. Gems like to control. But you know, Gems, sometimes you've got to get out of your own way and allow the springtime of the soul to bloom. Allow things to come forward because you can. Okay? Cancerians. Where are you, Cancerians? Oh, that's the top here. This is an interesting statement. Don't compromise. It's about not accepting anything less than the best. But that best has to be what you see as your best for you. Not someone else's best for you, or not someone else's best, but they feel what they think. This is about don't compromise what you want for you. Don't compromise your principles. Don't compromise what works for you. This is about, if you've made a statement, then follow it through. If you're hurt and your heart's lonely, then don't compromise by trying to make it right for everybody else. Do what you need to do for you. You know, sometimes, particularly in situations where there's hurt or there's grief, we do the whole stiff upper lip thing and put on a good show for the family, for the kids. It's not necessary, darling. If you want to scream, shout, kick, swear, curse, cry, whatever, do it. This is about not compromising. It's about understanding that there are ways to deal with issues and ways not to deal with issues, but that it's your way. Okay? And that's not in a my way or the highway type scenario. It's just, it's what works on an individual level that you need to follow. Leo. Wow. Are you swimming in a sea of love right now? Absolutely big time. And you know, sometimes Leo get caught up in the whole, bit more sunshine, thank you God, Goddess. They get caught up in the whole outward drama and splendor of the love story. They get caught up in the packaging. This is your time to swim in that sea of love, to enjoy it, to relish it, to lay back and let it wash over you. This is not about fighting the tide or fighting the current. It's not about fighting love in your life. It's not about grasping, because you can't hang on to a wave. It will just dump you on the shore, and that's all there is to it. But if you just float and swim with it and go with the sea of love, it will unfold and bless you, and it's all those wonderful, gentle moments. Yeah, it's a bit like surfing. Sometimes you catch the wildest ride of your life, and it's amazing, and it's powerful, and it's strong. But most times, you know, they're just pretty average waves, and they're good, they're great. And sometimes the sea is just gentle, and it just rolls right in. This is about immersing yourself in every aspect of being in love. Of being in love with yourself, of being in love with a partner, of being in love with family, of being in love with being alive. It's like, go swim to your heart's content. Don't fight it. Virgos. Prosperity, freedom. Prosperity, freedom comes with releasing poverty thinking. It doesn't mean you've suddenly won lotto. What it means is that there is a release happening here and a major move forward. This is where your heart is open. It's like move into prosperity, freedom thinking. Prosperity of the heart, prosperity of the mind, financial prosperity. This is about releasing all expectation and just fly. Fly and let it happen. It's about lifting yourself above poverty consciousness, because you can. It's about flying on the stream of abundance, because you can. Where's our beloved Librans? Listen to your heart, Libra. Librans can be the worst enemies of their own self. They listen to everybody else's advice. They listen to what they're being told. They listen to this one. They listen to that one. And their poor heart's going, hey, wait up a bit. Can you just hang in here and listen to what we're saying? This is where it's about following your heart. It's about listening to yourself. It's about sometimes we absolutely know something isn't going to work, but our heart is still pulled towards it. You know, a long time ago, I was told you'd never meet anybody worth having in a pub. And in my day, ladies didn't go to a hotel. It was just like, oh my God, in heaven. And that's what I was brought up with, that statement. Well, I met my husband in a pub. And you know what my mum said to me? She goes, you know what? Sometimes no hope turns into great hope. And that's exactly what happened in my space. You have to open your heart so that no hope can become great hope. Maybe this is time for you to listen to your heart and give someone a chance to grow into their self, and to give yourself a chance to grow into yourself. Okay? Now, Scorpio, bless their little hearts and socks. Emotions. Wow, look at that. Look at that. The connection to the mermaids, to the sea people, to the ocean. Emotions can swamp you. Emotions can overwhelm you. And emotions can take you to the greatest joys and the greatest gifts there are. But we have to allow emotion. When we're sad, be sad. And I don't mean wallow and become depressed and miserable and utterly tragic. I mean, when you're sad, experience that emotion. Put what is needed into that emotion. If you're angry, then go with that emotion. It's no good burying emotions. They tend to pop up and bite you on the bum later. It's about feeling that emotion, going through that experience of it, living with it, dealing with it, doing it, getting it over and done with. Then you can move through it and past it and beyond. If you put a bucket on it, put it in a bucket and put a lid on it, sooner or later it's going to bubble away, ferment, and that lid's going to blow off, and you're going to have to deal with a whole pile more. Bigger clean-up mess, hon. Just express the emotions, feel them, work with them, go through them. And accept sometimes it's just the way it is. Okay. And now, the beloved Sagittarians. Where are you, my Sagittarians of the universe? Questioning your beliefs. So you may be going through a time of inner turmoil at the moment. You know, sometimes when things happen in our life, and someone said to me, why do bad things happen to good people? Bad things don't happen to good people. They're just an experience. And if you can look at everything as an experience that the soul needs to go through, then, you know, it makes life a little more easy. But this is about questioning where you stand, what it is you believe. You know, and some of you are outgrowing a belief system simply because it no longer works for you. Following a pattern because it's a known pattern is fine, but you know, you're not on remote, hun. So this is about time. It's about changing the channel, having a look at what works for you, where you need to be, where you need to go. That's not an orb flying around there, sweethearts. That's a reflection of my salt lamp. Just in case some of you get excited. Like I did first time I saw it. It was like, oh wow, I've got an orb and it's changing colour. And it's like, wake up woman, it's your salt lamp. But Sag, it's about going within. It's about seeing what path you're on right now, what works for you. It may not have worked in the past, which doesn't mean it's not going to work right now. And it may have worked in the past, which doesn't mean it's going to work right now. Sometimes you've just got to change, and sometimes we have to understand that some things have to fracture before they can come back together in a better pattern. Don't be so hard on yourself, darling. Now, like I said, we've got this brand new website happening, www.gypsymaggierose.com, and you'll see a link there to Facebook so you can join me if you wish, or not. Take care, babes.